Yeah, he's the horse to beat. I don't have any problem with that. I picked him third because of his price. But, you know, we'll see how hot the pace gets, and that works against him because he is a horse I think he'll be best if he is forwardly placed, and I can't imagine they'd want to get far away from those tactics, though you never know. Yeah, I mean, you know, listen, imagine a horse who's 3-4 wide around 2 turns on the inner. Those horses routinely get beaten 15 lengths, and we bet them back. You know, those results get exaggerated, and he's got 2 fast races. I got no problem with this horse. I think he's absolutely the horse to beat. I'm not picking him on top because I'm not taking a short price, but I'm not anti-Irish War Cry.
Mike, where do you stand with him? Is he a defensive use? Is he one to oppose, or is he somebody you're willing to sink your teeth into a little bit?
Yeah, no, I'm not sinking my teeth into him. Just because, and I agree with Andy. To me, he's way the horse to beat in here. I'm gonna. I don't even know if I would say he's a defensive use in a race bet like the pick 4. I mean, I would think I would just use him in that race in that bet. I just don't want to bet him to win as the favorite. As you know, this group of 3-year-olds, I don't think any of them are particularly good, and I have some concerns about Irish War Cry overall, and not because, you know, his Derby. I don't think the Derby is the race that you point to with him and say, oh, well, he was terrible in there, so I don't like him anymore. I can see the excuse for his Derby, obviously. It's his other races. It's his other races that bother me. The Fountain of Youth, first of all, to me I think is a hard race to get past. That was a really poor performance. And so you're talking about a horse who has a couple of 101 buyers. That's great. He has a couple of 101 buyers, though. One in a race where he basically walked on the lead in a race where Classic Empire didn't show up at all. So he won that race. And then on the Wood Memorial, listen, he ran fine in the Wood, but he also had all the best of it in the Wood on a day where you had to be up close on that track, and he was up on the pace with a horse Battalion Runner who just isn't any good, and he buried that horse. It's not his bad races that bother me as much in a lot of ways as his good races, because I don't know that his good races are a true measure of how good this horse actually is.
He's got that Jekyll and Hyde look at best, and that is tough to take as the favorite, but I also take the point that Andy made that he's got those big races staring you in the face, and is certainly one who you could see having an impact on Saturday.
But Mike is right, Pete. Both of his wins are dressed up. Mike is right about that. And it's a good point that I did not make.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see it. It's also interesting to see what's gonna how he's gonna react to the added distance, and the fact that this was not necessarily a race that was circled on the calendar the day after the Derby. There was talk of laying him up for a while, and I guess he was doing so well down at Fair Hill that the connections decided to run him. Does that give you any pause, Andy, that idea that this was not necessarily plan A for the horse?
No.
In Graham Motion, you trust?
I don't think it was ever out of his. I don't think he ever thought he wasn't going to run. That doesn't bother me. But
yeah, I mean,
I think we've made all the points about this